Hey there, I am JB and welcome at some more House Flip with you. In today's episode, well, the thumbnail and the title already have spoiled it. We are going to build a Lego house and we are going to keep it because from now on I would like to do things differently. So all of the effort that I put into these houses won't go to a waste, because that is what I find a shame. It is not only that, I actually got challenged on Discord by a player named Zillen, and this player actually made this house and it's super modern, it's super fancy looking, and he definitely has a good style. Now he did admit he used that house as his home office, just like I got this house right out here. Anyways, you guys can also join up from now on, because Zillen said, are you going to make a challenge out of it, after I told him that I'm going to do way more my best onto these houses. And you know, I think it's a good idea. And in the last episode I have already been saying that I wanted to do this house, which is called More Than a Trailer. Zillen also knows that, so he's going to see what he can do at that house, and then on Sunday after this episode, which is today, is up, he's going to send me his screenshots, and then we can compare these houses. So from now on, if you guys would like to join up, every end of the episode I'm going to look for a house where I want to work on, and then you guys can work on it too. Then next week you can send me the screenshots and I'm going to think of something amazing, because I'm tired of doing normal renovations. I want to make something cool, so that's why I've decided I want to build a Lego house, and I have an idea in mind what I could be doing. So in this case, I'm just going to buy it. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to clean it up and then see what we can do. Now, if you're wondering like, hey, how do you get money if you're not going to sell these houses? Well, I actually got an idea how to do that. There are enough jobs I can do, which I can get, I don't know, between 10 and 20k per house, or I'm just gonna buy any of these other houses that I'm not going to do some special themes on them, just renovate it very sloppy and then just sell it and make money that way. Right, so in this case, a Lego themed house. Now I already had in mind the roof is gonna get rid of, or it's going to be gone, because it's very difficult to do something with that, since these roofs, if you're trying to change the style on them, you can only do one kind of style. Now there is a way how to do multiple styles, which basically means I'll have to get rid of the roof and do all kinds of separate little bits and pieces on them. And that is going to take me an insane number of jobs. Like, that's not going to be fun anymore. Because you have to understand, in order to make this into a Lego house, one of the things that I have to do is come up with an idea which makes it look like it's a Lego house. So in this case, I'm just going to give you a very short example, which once again the thumbnail might have spoiled it already, but it's okay. I'm just going to I need to have something which I can change the color. Yes, this one for example. So I'm going to take this red, place that down, and take this blue, green, yellow for an example, right? And what I can do with this, like I was saying, I like a house, is I'm going to figure out is what would be a size of a brick. So I could say, how about doing this, which is a reasonable size, which means it's going to be 2 of these, and then let's say do one here, then 2 of these, and then 2 of those, and 2 of them. This is going to take me a lot of work, but it's going to be worth it, and that is something that I would like to do, right? And I take, like, for example, green. It's going to be a 1 brick. It's not correct how I'm doing it right now, but you get the idea that as long as I'm doing something like this, I can create the colors and then it looks like it is made out of Lego, right? Now, doing that on the roof, like I said, I'm going to need to have multiple pieces. I'm going to need to do it with every bit and piece, but I also believe it's gonna be, well, maybe not too difficult. I could change the colors, of course, but for a roof, I think it's going to look very weird, as you can see. Even though, you know, Red doesn't look too bad now I'm looking at it, because a lot of these Lego roofs are actually red. Maybe I should be doing that. I'm already getting ahead of myself. I think, you know what, I don't think that is too bad. We're just gonna keep the roof. Okay, but first of all we need to take a look. It's a mess out here. We're going to clean a lot of this stuff up. And, oh, it has a basement, interesting. Oh wow, look at the space out here. Right, what is in here? We got a rest room. Right. Then up here we little storage. And here we gotta go outside. Holy moly, this house is different. Okay, then what do we have here? Bathroom. Right. Okay, here's the front door. I can already tell that I'm going to get rid of a lot of these walls because it feels cramped up and I don't like it to be cramped up. Now, right. So the kitchen is here, living room. Yeah, we're definitely going to get rid of that. So here is the garage. I think, we see here. I'm going to steal one of Zillen's idea. I'm going to move this wall up a little further. Right, I want to have space in here. I think I want to include. Oh yeah, I cannot do that because of that. Right. But you know what? Maybe down here it's okay to have it smaller. It's okay. I have an idea to keep like the washing stuff and a little bit of storage like into this area. Just make this an open room. Have like glass walls. So when the garage door is open, it's not getting like cold all the way out here. I want to open this up. Definitely open this up. And I think what I would like to do is, I wanted to say put a bedroom downstairs. Maybe with like a bit of a playroom. I think I would like to make this house for a family. So it's gonna be a couple and it's gonna have kids, right? Alright, I cleaned everything, demolished everything that needed to be demolished. I sold everything and I came up with a lot of ideas what I want to do with the house. So let me just quickly show you here and there. Now I demolished some walls. I placed some of these one high to just, you know, show the floor plan to say. And of course down here the hallway there will be a door down here that leads into the living room. I want to have the kitchen of course out here, and the kitchen itself is going to be here while the dining table is going to be here. I noticed there is no back door in the house, so I will implement a back door here so you can go directly to the garden from the living room and, you know, maybe take something from the kitchen. Meanwhile I was demolishing stuff, I by accidentally hit one block away in this wall, and then I discovered something odd. I was like, is there a double wall in here? So I just demolished the whole piece in here, and indeed there is some wall space in here, and I'm like, why? Well, there was this little room in here. You can see that the door was out here. So I'm going to decide to just make it one bathroom with no toilet. And I'm just going to pull this wall straight so it's nice and spacious out here. And thinking about it afterwards, I think I will place a toilet in here because there's nothing more annoying than being in the shower and you need to go to the toilet and you don't want to go out of this room to the toilet down here. So here will be the restroom where, you know, I think it's nicer when visitors come to the house and the toilet is just a different thing from the bathroom. So yeah, so two toilets near each other. Very luxurious. Then down here there will be a door, and I've decided to make this the kids room. There's gonna be a bed for two on both sides. There's gonna be a bed, and there's gonna be a ginormous playroom. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Now we have this silly grass thing in here, so with that being said, I'm going to delete that. Now what I will do in place is make a fake garage door, just so it looks like this is a garage. It would be very cool. And of course there will be some safety railings and all kinds of other stuff to be sure, you know, nobody just falls off from here. Then down here I demolished some stuff and things, and yeah, the wall will be up here. There will be some wall out here to there, of course. Down here I had to make a decision, and the master bathroom of the parents' bedroom is gonna be here, right? And then I decided, you know, I'm gonna give them their own bathroom right out in here. I think it would be very nice. And then have this as, I don't know, a laundry room type of deal. Then that would fit in easily. And down here like a chill corner study type of deal. And this is just going to be an emergency exit for whatever reason. Yeah, I think that will be a good idea. So the next thing that I would like to do is I'm going to need to replace all the windows and doors because it needs to look Lego-ish. So far I know in Lego there are a couple of different kind of windows. You just got these windows that is just with one plate of plastic in it without any, you know, between in type of deals. And you do have very square ones which do have like these between in things. I'm not sure what it's called. Let me just see. Mountain bars. Yeah, those things, mountain bars. It has like, it's a perfect square and then has like 4 square windows in there. I think that would be very nice if this game has it. But it's all going to be white. The door too, the glass door is going to be white. And I'm going to try and match it up with Lego as much as possible. Alright, and so there we have it. The whole house looks like it has been made out of bricks. I did increase the size by 1 because I thought it would look a bit better compared with the windows. And I do believe if you have a window like this, the bricks are actually this kind of a size. Now it is good to start off on a corner like this, and then I went this all the way around and it looks all fine and nice. And another thing is that the way how the bricks are, I had to move the doors up 1 block, so it looks a bit better compared with those bricks. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's okay because at our house you have this little step up too. That actually prevents water from flowing in if the water will get up a couple centimeters or inches, and then you just step in like this. Now down here, as you can see, I got these I believe they're called knobs onto it, which is very nice. And this staircase has this brown color because sometimes Lego comes with like pre-made staircases, so that's why I made it brown like this. Now another thing, I came up with a lot of ideas. I'm actually not done with the outside just yet, and based on the time this all takes, I just have 1 more day. Today, maybe tomorrow I can do a lot more. I want to make this look even more Lego-ish. So what I mean by that is, for example, right down here, I just don't want to implement a normal floor, right? I want to actually implement an actual Lego floor. Now I'm going to need to see if that is possible, because I do believe, and I could be wrong, there is actually no plastic material. Even though for the walls I also didn't use plastic. Now let me take a little look at it. I think I used these ceramic tiles, right? And then I want to have a pattern. Like sometimes you have these things that look like this or like that, but I need to have something like this, and then increase the size. Because sometimes you have like these flat pieces to actually hide those knobs, right? And I want to make it the same color as the stairs. And let's just take a little look how that looks like. I'm going to take this and then just increase the size. And then it looks like these knobs that you hide with these things. I'm not sure what these pieces are called. Now, I just need to see. Maybe I need to increase the size just 1 more. Even though it looks perfect. Let me just see here. Because after these things have a size that it fits 1 knob, right? So maybe this is actually pretty good. Now this is not the only thing that I would like to do. I would also like to do the whole garden with this kind of stuff. Of course it will be green versus gray. And this makes it look way more Lego-ish. I think it is actually a very good idea. And of course, down here, it's gonna need to be gray. So we're just gonna take a gray color. Let me see here. I think I want to have the same gray that I use for the door. And the reason why I made the door gray with black, because at first I had it all white, but white makes it not look like Lego is. So that's why I decided to add in a couple of other colors. So in this case, what I would like to do is change the style. Do the same thing, this one. And then increase the size, this one. Yes. Then I'm going to duplicate that one. So I always have like a full one ready to go. Place that down there. Grab this guy. Yeah, I think that's perfect. It also, once again, looks like these pieces that you put on the knobs to make it look smooth. Now, this is not the only thing that I would like to do. I actually would like to create, yes, this Lego tree. I'm gonna try it. And I kind of have an idea how I am going to do that. Because I've been using these pieces for the knobs, right? And these pieces for the knob, let me just see where they're at. I believe it's, yeah, in here. Now there is a downside with these pieces. You can put these pieces on here, right? And then you, for example, do this and you do like that. Now the downside of this is you cannot put more onto there. You can only put these pieces onto existing real bricks, to say, or maybe even windows. I'm not sure of that. No, not on windows. But with these pieces I can you know, make the smaller details happening. And I also would like to see if I can create some other Lego things in this garden. I would like to make 2 trees. I would like to make a tree right out here, maybe a smaller one near it. I would like to see if I can create certain flowers. I do have a couple of Lego pieces in this room down here. I can use them as an example, and then yeah, see what I can create here in the garden with it. Now, even though I'm not all the way happy, I'm still going to keep it. I have checked out every bit and piece in order to find like a thing that could function as a nice round knob. I looked through everything. I even use items which you would normally not use. But these things, for example, are way too big for that. So I'm just going to keep it with this. I do like the color. It's a nice light grassy color. The tree will be way darker, so then you can really tell the difference. Now there are of course a couple of other things that I would like to put into the garden. For example, a fence. We got this good old classic Lego fence, and I actually have an idea. So what I want to do here is I would like to take a window. And I think these windows would be nice. Just have to see if that will fit in. Let's take a 6x4. Even though these are not 6x4, I believe they are 4x2. But we should be able to change this and make it look like a Lego fence. So we change this first to that, right? You already can tell. Change this to plastic. I'm gonna take a white color for that. You don't want to have the thing underneath. Change this to plastic. And change that to plastic, and look at it. Besides the bottom part and besides like the thickness, it pretty much looks like a Lego fence. Now I'm not sure if I want to have it white though. I think red is actually the original color of it. Now let's just change everything for a red. Yes, that starts to look like it. Now let me just see if I can copy this all over the place. Especially right out here. Ah, the grass is disappearing. Now I cannot make it look perfect, but just gotta do with what we have, right? Unless I can... It's gonna be difficult. You know, I have to say, this looks way better right away. It looks way more how it's supposed to be. Of course, the fence should then be in the middle, and maybe it needs to be the half high, but you know, this is all I can do. House Flipper 2 is of course also limited in certain ways, but this is not the only thing I've been doing. I have been making a tree and flowers. Yes, these flowers are absolutely ginormous, but that is a Lego thing. And these things do exist. That might look a little bit more shaped up, but it's exactly like one green piece, then a flower piece, and in this case I've put like a little knob on it, or a cover onto the knob, because finding knobs is a bit difficult, so this was actually perfect. I like that a lot. And then down here, of course, the tree. And this tree, holy moly, this tree is a handful of work, because sometimes bits and pieces just fall off. For an example, it's like these bits and pieces, they sometimes just disappear. I had this guy disappear for a couple of times already, just for no reason at all. It just fell down. But in general, this looks perfectly like a Lego tree. You know, of course, certain bits and pieces I could be using this, but the higher I went, the more difficult that became, because even though these are scalable, you cannot scale them the half of it, which is a bit of a shame. I hope actually that in House Flipper 3, the developers will add more bits and pieces that are scalable on small scale, to say, because we have that little block, which is this guy, right? It would be nice if this guy also had like a triangulated piece or a circulated piece or anything that you can scale a lot more. What would even be more better if in House Flipper 3 you can make blueprints. So I would take a blueprint camera, just click here, and then click up for the height, save it up, and then the game should make it into a one static object. And then once you place it, it should give you the option to rotate it around the way you want it. And it would even be cool if you could also scale it. Then you could make these flowers just a little bit smaller. You can give it a little bit of a rotate and do it also with these pieces. Now I understand that, you know, these wall pieces that I've been using are not like rotatable, but once it should be made into a blueprint, that it changes, I don't know, the file of that piece into something that, you know, is a bit more relaxing to use. Alright, and so there you have it. I am completely done with the outside. I'm just going to show you everything. But I first would like to say it was not easy to do. It took a lot of work just to make certain things, and it took a lot of work to just find certain things, because this game does not have all of the bits and pieces. Then I got like plans in my mind. I want to make these plans come through, and then I'm looking in the store and looking, and you know, certain bits and pieces are not there, and I have to come up with anything else. But let me show you, I'm kind of happy with this whole project. It was a lot of fun, and I think in general it definitely worked out. Maybe I should be placing a light pole right out here instead of hanging something up on the wall. But for now I got these light poles. These are basically the same as those ones on the street. The only difference with that is the part here onto the ground, because the part on the ground is like onto the knob, so click it onto other bits and pieces. I got this tree right down here. I think it kind of worked out as how it's supposed to be. I like it. Now down here I got these bushes. The only thing that I could not find, once again, is something like apples that I can put onto, like flat apple, like a painting, or maybe something of flower. You do have sunflowers, but those are like 3D ones, and those, you know, it doesn't fit in. And when something doesn't fit in, I just don't want to do it. Then you come here, and yes, I'll be making a couple of new things in here. So first of all, this sandbox. You have this sandcastle seen in a couple of Lego pieces, in a couple of Lego games. I wanted to make the sandcastle, but once again, certain bits and pieces that I don't have. For example, the little cone pieces that actually gonna go onto the tower is not available. And there are also certain other issues with this, and just show you that in a minute. But yeah, this is all I can do. There is no small little flag. It got shovel and the bucket. I think the bucket looks kinda like a Lego version bucket, the brown ones. It got a little tree up here, and once again a lot of flowers. And at the end I was like, you know, I want to have a figure. So I start looking, and I remember something like a little duck, and I believe this duck is from Duplo. Yeah, it looks like a lot of it. A lot of it, it's correct. And the only thing that you don't see are the knobs on here, and I will just show you in a second why there are no knobs on there. I got this simplistic table. Yes, it's just made out of wood. I cannot find a plastic version of this, but it's okay. We cannot have everything. And I had some cheese for lunch. Some more flowers out here, and nothing yet up here. If you know something that I could be putting up here, like a certain figure or anything, just let me know, and I'll just put it right down here. For the next episode, because in the next episode we are also going to need to do some interior stuff. I don't have enough time to do that right now. Down here I saved up all of the bits and pieces, and this is something that I recommend to you if you're, you know, doing a house. Always save it up. Just put down a new box, then duplicate it if you need something, and don't use the original ones. So this will save you up messing around with colors and whatnot. So that's how I do it. I just want to show you indeed the thing that is not working out. I'm just trying to find my hot back. There we go. So on here you have knobs, right? Now I could be using these knobs, or I could be using something else. However, there is an issue with this, and now I'm going to need to find something that will be fitting on there. Maybe I can actually use these pieces. I'm just going to duplicate this bit. Now, as you can see, it's not allowed. You can only place this stuff on the blocks that you place, the brick blocks that you can place. This is not apparently that kind of a brick. This is basically that very thin piece that is this one. And another thing that this one doesn't allow, this is so much thing actually a shame, is you can fit it onto the brick, but you cannot fit it onto itself. If that makes any sense. Now I could be placing some knobs on here, but I cannot place knobs on here, which is a bit of a shame. I wish the game would give you more freedom. Like, this should be plastic material for this table. If you want to just, you know, give it. If you want to put something on here, just allow me to put it on here. It would make the game a lot more fun if you don't have these silly restrictions. But then again, maybe the developers didn't really think about, you know, someone trying to do stuff like this actually. Yeah, I'm loving it. So far so good. Let me know what you... Yeah, I've not done the back because you don't see it. Let me know what you think about it, and if you have any ideas for the outside, or maybe you got some ideas to put on the inside, you should also definitely let me know. And then in the next episode we're gonna do the whole interior. We already have a floor plan ready, so we don't have to mess around with that. Alright, so yeah, everything is ready. I've even been putting up some walls. This is going to be the kids' room. I've got a couple of ideas for that. I believe this is the restroom, bathroom, living room.